All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is, whenever this video is finding you there. Welcome to Kai Chi Alchemy. You can call me Katchi. This is a space of love, y'all. Welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of movement medicine for the Cancer Collective. And before I even got on here today, I pulled a couple of pocket animal spirit cards for y'all from this Kim Cran's deck right here. And the cards that came out for this group were the panther, the oyster, and the fire ant. The panther, the oyster, and the fire ant. And this is not a black and white deck. This is just what happened today. And I thought it was interesting because Cancer is the sign of the mother. And oftentimes people think of like snuggling and blankets and pillows and compassion and fireplaces and soft music and, when they think of this mother archetype. But actually, the mother archetype is also like the mother bear, or like the, the mother is one of the most intense, fiery archetypes that there is, or it can be. So I think that this was definitely a call to remember that you're not just soft and sweet, but you can also see in the dark. You can also make beautiful things out of surviving and moving through irritation with grit, moving through the darkness with understanding, with instinct, and the ability to like defend yourself and those that you love. This is a very fierce energy. This is very intense energy. This is very powerful energy. So yes, Cancer is the sign of the mother, and there are a lot of things we associate that with. But Cancer is also cardinal water. It's like intense, flowing, rushing water. It has a softness and a sweetness and a strength, just like water does, right? You can carve something really extreme into stone if you are just the soft, sweet, flowing water that you are consistently running over the same spot, right? So Cancer is soft and Cancer is sweet and Cancer is strong and Cancer is fierce and Cancer can see in the dark, move through challenging situations and create beautiful things out of that irritating situation. And they're capable of defending themselves and other people. So this is, let's see, water, water, water and fire. Yeah, there's two fire cards here. And they're all real intense. Okay? So we are tapping into the fiery element of the Cancer um, archetype today and kind of balancing that out with the more well-known love version there. So there's going to be two practices, movement practices today. One is to settle into the stillness and the softness and the sweetness of the Cancer energy. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And so for this very first heart opening, settling into stillness exercise, as I would generally recommend most people start off with, coming into a more receptive space to prepare you to more efficiently and effectively do the hot, hard, sweaty, intense types of things. And so whatever you have at your house is perfectly all right. If you have a blanket to create this shape with, then you can do that. If you have a pillow, you can do that. If you have like a yoga bolster at your house for some reason, that would be excellent. If you have even a foam roller. It will be a little bit harder, but some people prefer that. You can use that as well. So I'll give a little bit of an example, I guess, just so that you can see what that looks like in a heart opener here. This one's a little bit smaller, so ideally you would have a full-size foam roller when you're doing this. But again, this is about meeting ourselves where we are and using what we have available to us in the environments that we have available to us to generate consistency and to move with grit so that we're not coming up with excuses at every moment, you know? So you can also use a pillow. You can do this in bed if that's easier to talk yourself into it, right? And that'll be a lot gentler. Sometimes I'll even fall asleep in a heart opening position with a pillow like that on my bed and just sleep like that all night, and that can be very useful sometimes. And if you have a bolster or a blanket all rolled up, you might want like two here if I have the time, but that's good as well. Yeah. Okay. So here I'm gonna have you lay back on something that opens up your shoulders, that opens up your heart space. You probably have your shoulder blades rolled forward because most of us do these days. And you probably want to take your feet out long in front of you. But if it's more comfortable to be in any particular position with your legs, take that. The point here is to be comfortable for a long period of time so you can stay in the position and that your center line is elevated and your shoulders are opened up here. And I would recommend taking at least at minimum 10 deep breaths here if that's all you have time for. Or ideally like 10 minutes, or taking enough time out so that you could do a whole yoga nidra practice like this. But again, at least laying down with your chest open, supported in this position, taking at least 10 deep breaths, and bringing your attention to your heart. Not just breathing into your chest here, but also into your belly. And feeling and sensing and becoming aware of how your body feels in different areas, in different joints, from one side to the other side, at the top of the breath and the bottom of the breath. Just gathering data points. And this is not just a wonderful exercise for resetting and opening up your fascia and your connective tissue, but it's also a wonderful mindfulness practice to assist you mentally and emotionally and to just be more calm and present in your day-to-day life so that you can meet those movements with more precision and intention and mindfulness. And then you're going to want to support yourself as you come up, especially if you have any back problems, lower back issues. And feeling into your chest, into your heart space, kind of noticing if there's any difference in the way that you feel now from when you started 10 breaths ago, 10 minutes ago, whatever it happens to be. So let me move those to the side. And this next action to get your blood moving, to build heat, and to develop the strength that you need in order to be an effective cancer, in order to be an effective mother archetype in any circumstance, in any environment. I'm going to have y'all take something that has some weight to it. Like my teacher from Belly Fit used to say in some of her videos when she started integrating strength training into her belly dance, yoga, um, mindfulness, Pilates, integrated system that she did, she started realizing the importance of strength training as she got older and as she learned more about the science and as she observed women throughout their lives and stuff. And so when she would integrate these movements into the ends of her classes, she would say, yeah, it would be great if you had like some free weights and you're gonna follow along with me here and do this with these free weights. But if you don't even have those, don't use that as an excuse to not move with us and to just turn off the video early. You know, go find some cans of soup or beans or something in your cupboard that has some weight to it, that has some resistance to it, that will have some pull from gravity on it. I recently have really liked using this guy. My old roommate left this behind, and it's I believe serpentine. It's not an orb; it's an egg. It's very fun in your hands. So something maybe like a rock. Like everybody has something that would work for this, right? Or I have a kettlebell, and this kettlebell is 15 pounds, and so it's kind of like an infant, like a growing baby, which I thought was very appropriate, as is the egg, right, to the Cancer theme. But no matter what you're using, no matter what grip you have to use because of that, what I am going to recommend is not necessarily to go through a bunch of standardized kettlebell exercises, or even if you're using a hand weight, if you're using a rock, if you're using a can of soup, whatever you're doing. I would recommend, in line with the Cancer energy, that you flow with your intuition a little bit more. So, like turning on your favorite music and dancing, but dancing like you have a baby with you, and you carry it around, and you move it around, and you bring it to the floor, and you bring it up into the air, and maybe you throw it around. Be careful, know your limits, you know. Um, and not thinking about it, but like putting on music that inspires you to move in dynamic ways that brings resistance training into your life in a way that is not super linear and standardized and heady. And you can do a lot more. Like, if you ever seen people go to an ecstatic dance event and they just dance and sweat and use so much energy for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And you're like, how do you even do that? A lot of times they're not even super physically fit or active in their lives. It's because they're not just using their minds to tell their bodies to move, they're using the music, they're using the energy that is available around them to inspire them and to fuel them through that movement. And you might want to hold it close to your chest and do some slow dances, bringing your attention to your core as you do that, and find where that center of gravity shifts as you move your body, as you move your little weight baby. And if you set a timer, you're just counting down till the end of that timer. You can't wait till you get to the end of that timer. But if you set a song or a playlist of a couple of songs, I doubt that you're going to be like, next word they're going to say is this, and the next word they're going to say is this. And after they say 17 words that are this, this, and this, then I'll finally get to the end, and I can finally be done with this, and I can finally stop. The whole point is to integrate more movement into your day, all day, every day, in a way that is inspired and intuitive and second nature. And so, yeah, it's really important in the morning to do something to get that process going if you can. But it's not just a one and done thing, right? The half of the process here, in my opinion, is changing your relationship to movement, changing your relationship to pain, changing your relationship to strain and to struggle and to resistance. And that is exactly what we were talking about in the beginning of this reading here for Cancer. The panther, the oyster, the fire ant. Developing your intuition, developing your grit, developing your strength and your ability to resist. So, softness, sweetness, grit, strength, resistance, love, light, peace, and personal responsibility. I will see you next time. I hope this was helpful for some of y'all Cancers out there. And yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. I think we're going to be getting into another chapter. So look forward to that if you look forward to that. And I'll see you there. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, sleep, work,